Hi, my name is Alena, or you can just call me Ellie. I'm a beginner painter from Latvia, and today I thought I'd share a little bit about myself. How did I actually find my way to making art? It was a really difficult kind of journey for me. I feel like I've been pretty creative as a child, but I wasn't painting all the time like most of the painters say about their childhood. I didn't really have anyone very creative in my family that I would be inspired of, so I didn't really take it as something special, even when I was creating something. I had some creative times that I can recall. For example, when I was in my kindergarten, I remember all the girls were having both Barbies and cans, and I didn't have a can of my own, so I just drew one from paper and played with it. And I feel like this is a somewhat creative decision for like a 5-year old. Later on, when I was a teen, I was making some handmade DIY bags from some old jeans, and I was putting some beads on top and um, doing some creative stuff. I painted a pair of jeans that I even wore to school a couple of times. I did my own jewelry and stuff, and I felt creative, but I didn't really take it as a profession or something. However, my mom was pretty creative in some sorts. She did made me some costumes when I was little, like for school and for kindergarten plays. She would cut things out and sew them together. She made me a DIY toy that I was made fun of, but that's a different story. But she tried, I mean, she did her best. And I guess the only way how I realized that being an artist is possible was when I was visiting my mom's aunt, and she was a painter. She had a lot of paint tubes all over the place. She was painting beautiful floral paintings. She had them all over the place, and she even gave some to us as a gift. And I was very fascinated by this creative place at her home with all the paint all over the place. And this is when I figured out that you can really be a painter, that it's a thing, it's possible. I didn't know it before. I think I was pretty little at the time. I was still in my first, second, third grade, somewhere there. And there was even a funny interview at school where they would pretend to be interviewing kids and would ask them, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I was very serious and I said, I want to be a painter like my mom's aunt. And I even have some videotape of this. It's not even a CD, it's a really videotape that you have to reformat to watch these days, like VCR, how they are called. And yeah, it's a really cute moment that I remember up to this point, and I really felt like I want to be a creative. And I also was pretty fascinated with art history. My mom is a teacher, and she would have all these books filled with different paintings. And I remember watching at them and looking at Rembrandt and Dali and also Shishkin, the realistic kind of paintings. And I was really fascinated of how you can even paint that way. I was like really wowed by the way they painted water, that it looks like water, and like the forest has all the trees and grass and so very real, like it seems like a photo. I was amazed, really. And later on, when it was time to decide where I would go after school, I had some thoughts about like going to an art academy here in Latvia, but I was somehow interested in architecture and more like interior design. And one teacher told me like, girl, you have like no chance. Like they don't take someone like you, blah blah blah. It's very hard. And she just really just killed this idea in me, and I stopped thinking about it. and I went to some courses and got my some diploma for interior design. I did some kitchen design and some sketching and stuff, and I really felt like doing this graphic design, which is really precise with all this measurements and stuff, is not my thing. I was really bad at it. I sucked at it, and there was a lot of discouragement also by the teacher in this course. She was bitchy, to be honest, and she wasn't helping. So I felt really down about it all, and I just went with the flow. I got offered a job which had nothing to do with painting or drawing or anything creative, and I just went for it. I started working right after school. It was an online business firm, an American firm. This is where I improved my English skills even more. But I did like English before that. That's probably how I got onto this job, because they wanted someone with stronger English skills. And I worked there as an editor. I had to go through tons of photos and texts and edit them daily. Then I moved on to quality assurance. I was testing websites and stuff. Then, for some short period of time, I became a manager. And then my pregnancy happened. I actually met my husband at this firm, and he went away later on, and we fell in love, and we had a baby after some time. And I quit my job when I was pregnant, and I didn't get back to it up until my son was 3, and I gave him to childcare, finally to a kindergarten. And I was thinking, like, I need to do something. I tried to just stay at home and do nothing, and I felt like I'm just degrading and I'm losing my brain, and all I care about is baby stuff and diapers and walks and plays and toys. And my husband may have nothing to talk about with me later on if I continue this way. That's how I felt. I was watching tons of TV shows and stuff. I was doing some workouts, but I felt like I'm empty, and I felt like I've lost myself a little bit along the way while I was taking care about my son. I felt like I forgot what I like and stuff, and I don't know what to do except for being a mom. And the easiest path out of it was just to get back to the same old company. I knew that they would accept me, and it changed a lot. The people who worked there were very different. Just a few of those that I knew were still there, and I had a different speciality. I started working with different stuff, and I later on even worked in marketing. And I quickly realized that the only thing that I like about this work is what's connected with the visual materials, with the banners and stuff, with advertising campaigns, with the way they look. And whenever I could be creative, that was when I felt the happiest at what I was doing. And I felt like I was just going with the flow and not really enjoying myself as much. And yeah, I felt pretty lost. I felt like I'm doing it just for the money. And then pandemic happened. Another major change in everyone's life and my life as well. We switched to working online from home, and I quickly realized that this is not something that's working well for me, because I was obsessed with working. I didn't leave my laptop for a second. I was checking emails and stuff. I was doing something in advance. I was so worried about clocking my time, that I'm doing enough. And I also tried to keep up with my son finishing his kindergarten and getting ready for school. And I was so overwhelmed with everything that's going on in the world and with my different kind of work style and ethic, and I just felt like I cannot take it anymore. And I really started thinking about how can I change things for myself? What can I do for myself to feel better? I cannot live like this for the rest of my life. It just doesn't seem to be good for me. I'm stressing out, I'm feeling bad, I'm depressed and stuff. And it has nothing to do with my job being bad. It was an amazing job. I had a great salary. I had great people, connections, everything, growth and stuff. I could have worked there for years and years, I think. But I just realized that I am burning out. I cannot do this anymore. This is not for me. And I had a serious conversation with my husband. I said that I cannot take it anymore. And he was like, it's okay, it's gonna be fine, don't worry, you will handle it. Just go with the flow, blah, blah, blah. He was really supportive and everything. And this is when I decided to try drawing on my iPad. I discovered an app that is called Procreate. And so I tried doing it, and my husband, after some time, even got me an Apple Pencil, which was really cool. And I felt like this is a great thing for stress release. I was finishing my work, and then somewhere at night, when my son was already asleep, I could just sit on the couch and draw something, and I found it so fascinating and interesting. I felt like the possibilities are endless. I can create whatever I can imagine. I have all the tools in one place, all the colors, all the pencils and pens, and I don't need anything except for the iPad. And I started having an Instagram and posting my stuff all the time, and I started building up a small trusty community with people supporting me, and I felt like this is it. I'm having so much fun. How can I spend even more time on this? And later on, I tried painting on canvas and on paper, and I just realized that this is taking too much of my brain. I no longer care about the job that I'm doing. I'm not being effective. I'm not being the best version of myself, and most definitely this position can be taken by someone else who will do good for the firm. And this is when we had another serious conversation with my husband, and I said that I can't do this anymore. I need to quit this job. He tried to convince me that I can do both, like you can do your art thing on the side, you don't have to do so radical decisions, just keep going, blah, blah, blah. But I just felt like, no, this is me time. I want to do this for me. I feel like this will be best for me, and I am quitting. So I left my job and I felt super happy. I didn't even feel scared. I was sure that it's gonna be fine, and I'm gonna do this for myself, and I was super happy about it. And the first month just felt like euphoria. I was like, yeah, I can finally do this. And as time went by, I occupied my bedroom. We sleep on the couch in the living room because there's the TV and stuff, and this is just how things turned out. And the bedroom was really abandoned. It just was like storage and stuff, and I decided to occupy it with my canvases and paints. My art supplies were growing and growing. I was trying different things, and I sold quite a few paintings, which I was really surprised of. Like, I've sold more than 50 paintings probably for like 2 years of painting. Like, I just started this. I'm still a beginner, and I managed to sell so many paintings. I was like, wow, this is really happening. And people were really positive about my art, but not everything was so bright, of course. I faced some rejection. I got some bad stuff, people telling me bad stuff about my art. I've got some envious people who didn't wish me well, and I got kicked out from some place where used to be quite successful, and they just didn't seem to like me at all, and they just kicked me out. And I felt like the art community here in Latvia is not very welcoming, and I have zero support, and I have no idea how to sell my paintings and stuff, and I felt a little blocked. And I also felt like through all this time, I did not develop some art style. I was just jumping from one thing to another, trying abstracts, trying painting leaves, trying painting cats, trying painting vases, birds, whatever, name it, florals. And I was just enjoying each single painting separately, but if you see them together, you will think that 10 different people created these paintings. And now that I see this, I feel this huge disconnect from all of them, to be honest. And it's the ugly truth that I have to face and live with. But I'm happy that I realized it finally, better late than never. And so I realized that, yeah, I have to stop. I was so worried about selling, create to sell, create to sell, create, promote, sell. And was like my regimen. And I was stressed out. I was creating something that I felt would be wanted by someone. And this is just a very wrong approach. Like, I have to create something that I like, something that I feel amazing about, something that I want to create, not just for the sake of money. Like, I'm not here to earn money. Yes, this is great to earn money. I can buy supplies and more canvases, but no one is running after me and saying, you have to pay me, please earn money. And I was just really stressed out. I feel like this is something that came out maybe because of envying other artists that are more successful than me, or because I need some verification. Like, if you're selling artist, you're the real artist. If you're not selling, you're a fake or something. These negative and wrong thoughts really led me the wrong way. And even though I did sell quite a few paintings, I feel like I was rushing through this. I didn't have to do it so fast. I had to learn more. I had to practice more. I had to draw on paper and learn to draw and learn to paint and accept that it's a long way and try different things and really find the type of thing that I would want to create every day. And so now I made a decision to slow down. It's been a while already, more than a couple of months probably, that I'm drawing and painting in my sketchbooks, and I'm not selling anything, and I'm very happy about it, and I'm enjoying myself. And I feel like for the first time for past several years, I'm not doing it to prove anything to anyone. I'm doing it just for myself. I'm learning so much. I'm seeing the progress. I'm seeing the results. I can see that every page in my sketchbook is getting better and better, and I'm understanding the things that I like. And I would have never imagined that I would like painting portraits or realistic birds. And now I'm just not limiting myself. I'm trying whatever that feels right. And I'm planning to dive into abstract soon again, and I'm really excited about this too. And I'm learning to share things on this channel with you, and I'm learning to talk about my art. I'm learning to present myself and accept myself, not thinking about some other people's thoughts about it. I don't care. I Right now I feel like I don't need galleries, I don't need sales, I don't care about a bunch of canvases staying here in my studio and no one buying them. I really honestly don't care, for the first time for past several years. And I'm accepting myself as a beginner. I'm accepting myself as a forever learning artist, and this is what excites me. I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. I don't know what I decide to paint the next day. I don't know how many sketchbooks it will take me. I hope tons and tons of sketchbooks will be filled with beautiful paintings. And yeah, maybe sometime I will get back to canvases and try to sell things again, but this time it's not my goal. The goal is the joy of creating, the joy of making, the everyday meditations that I have with my paints and paper, and I'm super grateful for this opportunity, and I'm excited for each new day, and I'm excited to complete the sketchbook. And yeah, I just wanted to share this with you, and I feel like whatever that you're doing, if you're feeling very unhappy at your job or at your life, just change it. Change something. You don't have to change it radically. Just try and listen to yourself and listen to your willingness and listen to what's good for yourself and treat yourself well no matter what. You deserve it. You deserve to be the best version of yourself for yourself. And I really wish everyone to find creativity in their life. I think it really changes the way you look at things. When I started drawing and painting, I started noticing all the nature that was there, but I just looked at it with a different eyes. And now every day is filled with beauty, and I'm so glad that I finally found this way to art that was living within me somewhere deep inside right from my childhood, and I lost it. But now I finally found it, and I cannot be happier. And I hope this was an inspiring one for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.